Galaxian system lies the planet of Pauper. Here the most dangerous minds are held captive by wizards who rule the planet with an iron fist in an attempt to silence the common people's uprising known as Pauperganda. But two have defied the odds, escaping the planet and spreading their dangerous knowledge throughout the galaxy. Aboard the deck of the SS metagame, they broadcast their message of hope. It is time for Infect, the old school style, meaning all green all the time, going all in with this list that I've been working on. I will be honest with you, I even had an all defeated outing with this. I went 0-5, but right after that I went 4-1, then 4-1, then 3-2, then I had like a 2-3. So I've been playing this a lot. Really match dependent, as should be obvious. I did have 20 lands for the longest time. The logic being, I really want to hit my, I've got 3 drops, but I also want to hit Groundswell. And when you're protecting things with Vines of Vastwood and having to leave up mana for these sorts of things, it gets pretty pricey, and so it's not as curvy as you would like to think as far as on the low end goes. I've tried Lotus Petal, I've tried everything, and I might go back to it eventually. For the time being, I always wanted land, but not too much. That's why we have 2 Tranquil Thickets. So before I get too much further, we have 17 basics, 2 Tranquil Thickets, 4 Mutagenics, 4 Glisteners, 4 Groundswell, 4 Rancor, 4 Seal, 4 Vines, 2 Cystbearer, I think that's how we say it. I forgot from last week already. 4 Ichorclaw Myr. We have 3 Treetop Bracers main. We have 1 on the sideboard. This card I'll get back to in just a minute. 4 Mambas and 4 Blessings. That rounds out our main deck. Sideboard, we are really aiming for Delver, which I obviously haven't faced much because I think I'm prepared for it. When I've won, so we'll see. 4 Archers, 4 Moments Peace. This is come and gone. I've gone down to none sometimes. There's 1 more Treetop Bracers, 3 Pulse of Murasa, and 3 Gut Shot. What I'm running into is, when I do run into removal decks, I was running Corpse Cur for a while. Maybe you can bring that up, Little Fight, or Elch is in the house, Kunstphrasen, Little Fight, Mike Man. Good to see all you guys. Please chime in if you're being quiet in the chat. Anyway, what I was running into and what I was losing to a lot in those 4-1s was burn, and so I had to up my Pulse of Murasa count, which kind of negated having a Corpse Cur and made for a bit of a longer game. And then our Stompy and Affinity matchup, while Treetop Bracers is awesome, I really needed a Fog effect, and I was going without him for a few of those lost outings. But rounding out, we'll get right to the matches here pretty quick here, but rounding out Treetop Bracers, I'm just in love with this card. It's like having a land walk ability against most decks. And think about when you're up against a Myr or decks that you would think would have a lot of flyers, it's still a boost. Sometimes it can draw a counter, and it's a good thing to side out. But against decks like the Dimir aforementioned, it takes turn 5 or so before Mulldrifter comes online, and you've won by then if you're drawing decently. And this gets around things like Augur of Bolus and Seagate Oracle and stuff like that. So Umbungo, Pauperganda time. All right, everybody's capping up. Sure, Rosamond's in the house. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right on in and see what we can see. Hopefully this will go down. What ended up happening with this list, why I chose Treetop Bracers, is I wanted something other than Fog to kind of mess with, and it might be the wrong call, but I really like drawing it every time I draw it. Thus, I have 3 main, and I like putting cards in. Oh, thanks for that, Welch. He says, time for a special day of the week, Pauperganda Day. But I really like drawing it, and what happened was I was looking for like a forest walk mechanic, and I stumbled upon this a couple of years ago, probably by now, and I've come and gone, so yeah, it's going up. All right, thanks for that, Shiraz. Yeah, we were laughing last week. Shirazamon noticed that if you searched on Twitch for Magic the Gathering, we didn't show up, so that's been fixed. Hopefully those responsible have been sacked, as Monty Python might be fond of saying, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I think we joined. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's minimize this and kill this. So being Infect, we might have a bit of a faster outing today. Now look at that. We run 2 more lands than we're supposed to, and look what happens. We will mulligan that. You know, let's stay positive. I don't want it to be one of those days, but good grief. We run 2 more lands than we're supposed to. Double no land hands. We will mulligan. We will keep. Good lordy. I'll throw this on top. And what I really, really enjoy about this deck is Seal of Strength, because it lets you kind of play like a Lotus Petal. And what I mean by that is you come out a little bit faster. I can drop the Mamba outside of Journey to Nowhere or Chainer's Edict on the other end of the table because you've got kind of Lightning Bolt insurance. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, isn't that crazy little fight? My gosh, couldn't believe. Oh, thanks for that, Mike, man. All right, so we're up against Stompy. So hopefully we draw something relevant. Stompy's had pretty good games against me. Usually it used to be a wipeout, but the inclusion of Verdant Longbow and the fight mechanic card that everybody's running 1 or 2 of is really become a thing. You know, it's almost played Tribe today. I'll probably play it this weekend. If I 5-0 today with this, I might have the I'll just say have the balls to play it in the challenge. But because there's a lot of disproportionate amounts of Tron, and this just steamrolls Tron. Oh, X-Creation SX. I can only ever catch Pauperganda on YouTube for the time difference, but happen to check your stream right time at work today. Just wanted to say I'm an avid watcher. Good luck, have fun. Thank you for that, sir. Great to see you. Rock on. Good to have you. Yeah, we're up against it here. Hopefully we can draw into one of our 3 main Treetop Bracers, because that really shuts the door on Stompy fast. It's famous last words, right? All right, so he's already triggered that. I mean, I could block this. I'm not going to, though. We need a some sort of a trample mechanic, something here. All right. Well, he's probably going to untap that, bring the goods. But if he doesn't, we win. So there's that. And he's got to reset his Rancor. So we'll wait around. I was very tempted to try to... what are the words I'm trying to get out of my mouth? Run Giant Growth, actually, because Groundswell's inferior unless you've dropped the land, and I think I mentioned that last week. There are a few times when I have seen that being played, and I'm like, wow, it's kind of tech. It's pretty cool. So we'll drop this. I'm not taking more, but pass the turn. Good times. And we have a big surprise on September 15th show. I know it's a few weeks away. We'll just say it's a big surprise. It's going to be awesome. All right. So, already at what? We're going to be at like 12. Something like that, at least. Yeah, another real late night of work all week long. So, apologies if I feel a little drowsy. Hopefully, it's not coming through. This is like the really busy time, actually, till about Thanksgiving. I'm gonna kind of have these heavy bags under my eyes and doing all that stuff. So yes, surprise hype. That is right. It's gonna be huge. I've never practiced a Trump impression, but yes, yeah, it'll be. What was it? About 22 years in the making. All right. Well, he's got his stuff behind. We can't really sit around and do much, but I also want to, if he F6s himself or anything, I want to be able to do something with it. I'll go like this. At least the young wolf will be dead. And I will trip this just to get rid of that damn thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I used to, whenever I would infect and kill the young wolf, it would come back. And I didn't quite understand the rules, but lately it's just been dying flat out. Wait, what the hell just happened? Wait a minute here. Okay, blocks, mutagenic, charting pipe. Oh God, what was I thinking? Oh wow, deserve to lose this one. That's what you get for narrating and not hearing your sound effects. There's a surprise. You like surprises? How about dying to Aquarian Ranger when? Oh my goodness, talk about a punt. Yeah, I assumed. Well, wait, that was yeah, that's right, because the Rancor. I was too concerned with its killing it, and that was the end of it. Oh my gosh, apologies for that. That was epic bad times. All right, hopefully we can get it back here. Let's get a damn something. I want to get something that can. I haven't even infected this guy yet, so. But it'll be neat if he doesn't see our tech if we do lose, because then they are often not to bring in any answers for it. So be surprised how often I've got Treetop out. It looks like I've got a 2-turn clock, and then they have that fight card, and it's like, ugh. But that's going to be drastic. That mistake, well, I think is going to cost me big time, because, yeah, Stompy's always a close matchup, and yeah, he's shutting the door here. So outside of gosh, what would I need? Too much. Yeah, that one will cost me. Green shirt and green infect. Coincidence? Nope. I'm that geeky. I planned it. Why do I need such a long name? Back in the house. Good to see you. Boy, it has been a while. If I block one and he doesn't have any pump, I survive. Other than that, I'm dead as a doornail. Yowza. This is what I hate, though. See, this is why I like Treetop Bracers here. He's going to swing for that. I'm just going to go to the next game, guys. Like, fight it out. Barely win, but, anyway. All right, sideboarding. I've found that 4 Apostles' Blessing is a bit much against Stompy, because most of our stuff is green, too. So, I'm going to bring in the Treetop Bracers. And out of respect, I'm going to bring in all my Moments pieces. I do like to leave in Cystbearer just because of the Verdant Longbow problem. Same reason being, take out a Mamba, because I want to be able to regenerate, not just play it out there and wait. Don't have many of these, and I would like to get rid of one of these. We will go from here and hope for the best. Yeah, that was drastically terrible. I apologize. That was that's what you get. You know, you narrate, you talk, you try to entertain, and boom! Just like, I was looking at that too, and I'm like, oh, this will kill it. Check that box off. Oops, it'll kill me too. Yowza! So if you're here for good game playing today, it's probably not the day. Let's turn that around right now. Try to play perfectly. See what we can do here. Not the best first example of the deck, but hopefully we can run into some Tron and control slow matchups and run them over in 2 or 3 turns. It's still not as fast as my Tribe deck, though. I sure love that deck. Great stuff. All right. Come on now. What's going on here? But yeah, this Treetop Bracers, pretty big headache against Affinity and Stompy. Affinity beat me last night. A guy played Tranquility and ended up meaning the difference. I had him the next turn, and it was like, oops. We don't want to see that brain fog again at Pauperganda. Yeah, I know. God, it seems to be happening more and more. I think both the season and the late night hours, and yeah, hopefully I should maybe move the stream to later so I'm a little bit more awake. But noon's awake enough. We shall see. Good stuff. Come on, man. What's this guy doing? Taking forever. All right. Ooh, creatures for days, and that is it. Well, I've got a blocker and a really good blocker and a hitter, so I'm going to keep this. Even though we don't have any tricks, might be the end of us, but hey, after that, let's not forget we triple mulligan last game. This is about, usually end up with about three lands in the deck with the ratio I've been running, so hopefully that becomes the case. Come on, mulligan down to 4 or 5 like we did. Yes, I do have Fridays off, Mike Man, but I work nights, and so I'm up till pretty much Friday morning, get a little bit of sleep, wake up, get the show all ready, try to navigate any issues and stuff like that, and boom, off we go. But I got it pretty easy. I gotta admit, I'm a lightweight when it comes to sleep, though, boy. I don't get it. I'm a wreck. So, as noted from last game. Later we'll definitely kill the watching from Sweden. Uh-oh, yeah. Don't want to rule out my heritage, too. I've got quite a bit of Swede in me, too, as far as if there was a pie chart of my muttness, if that's a word. Little bit of Irish, A lot of Lithuanian, a lot of Swedish. And some German. I think that's pretty much the ones that count. Heinz 57 all the way around though. Super Mutt. So this usually depicts that he's got a really heavy Rancor hand when you lead off with a Pit Sulk, or he's got like another Pit Sulk in hand. He wants to activate that. So I'm going to run right into this. See if he wants to do the same. It's nice when you have extra creatures. You can feel a little bit reckless. Oh, well, you infected them. We're up from last game. And I don't want to F6 because a lot of Stompy does run Gut Shot. So, all right. Here we go. Here we go. What does he got? I don't know why I'm worried about F6ing. I don't really have any answers, so I might as well. I'm not going to block here. But that's been kind of the enlightening thing since Stompy, you know, of the old days. It used to be kind of a joke matchup. You'd run over it with Infect, but like I said, it's about a 50-50 matchup right now. It's really surprising me. Okay, we got the Nest Invader. Interesting, interesting play there. Shoot, do I bring that dude in? Want to stay aggro. Yeah, I'm going to bring this up. Let's, you know what? Let's run the gambit here. We got critters, we got regen. Even if he's got a fight trick next turn and wipes our board, we still got it. I just like getting rid of that damn spawn, especially on this turn, so that he can't get the old fight mechanic going here. We have regenerated. Let's double check that. Yes, 1 regeneration shield. Okay, I'm good. Here we are. I've been having a lot of fun too with Fade Away, the card. If you can bring that up in MTG, I'd appreciate it. With my tribe combo deck, because you know you only have usually 1 or 2 creatures out tops, and I found it really good against Stompy. They tend to, you know, when they're not flooding like this guy is. I mean, right now it would be a terrible card, but I found it's kind of like a one-sided Wrath of God for like 3 or 4 creatures on almost on average. It's a pretty burly turn. I'm negating that, or just running that Angel Charm or whatever it is, the white fog that makes you not be the target, so you could get around edicts and stuff, which was in the very original build that Green Prinny designed. It's funny how you can kind of come full circle around to stuff like that. So who knows? We'll see what I end up running this weekend, but I think I will be on Tribe. I can't not break even with Tribe. It seems like I'm always at least doing that, and so it's such a fun deck. And so when $25 tournament outing comes by, I'm like, well, kind of chicken out with other stuff and end up playing that. Ooh, boy, we want to see our Moment's Peace, which is another reason, we want to run a little bit extra land than normal so we can regenerate, so we can cast stuff, so we can play our fogs and such. Believe me, up till just last night, I had, how many versions? 20 lands, so yeah, it's gone up quite a bit. Dawn Charm, that's the one. Thanks for that, Shiraz. A lot of blockers held back. Of course, he doesn't really have an option. They're all puking from Summoning Sickness. Oh, this feels pretty good. Got our trample, got our stuff. Just going to go all in here. Hopefully we can get it to a game 3 and make up for that just disastrous mistake of not regenerating. How good is Vines of Vastwood? Good grief. That card is just obscene. Well, we like this because now let's be careful here. This will have a 5 backside, which is enough to live through that, so I don't need to regenerate it. Good, good, good. Double check. Yes. Good to go. Yes. All right. So he said that. I would really like to be able to have... It's nice that we have regeneration mana open, but we'll be able to drop our bear next, and I think he's going to be kind of up against it here, unless he's got a really creature-heavy hand, another Nest Invader or something. Trample and Treetop Bracers are so extremely important in this kind of matchup. I used to run the, Predator Strike with the Trample, and then I think, about a month or 2 ago, I ran the Larger Than Life tech, which granted Trample and plus 5/5, I think, or 4/4. Pretty cool stuff. And we might be running into a fog here too, so got to be a little careful. It's not over yet. He's got us on a 2-turn clock, and that's if no tricks show up. Because Vines is another card that often is the difference in this matchup, where, you know, it's like, I got it, and then they Vines me, and I'm like, ugh. Like, Vines my own critter, so I can't Alpha Strike or something like that. So, well, that's unfortunate. We'll have to regenerate that. Darn it. I wish we had a true pump spell there, because that would really put it over the top, wouldn't it? All right. Well, he has that. Ooh-wee. Yeah, this is a tough choice. Very tough choice here. If he swings next turn for 6, it's interesting. I'm at 11 because a Vines pump or something of that nature, a 4 pump, isn't enough. Ichorclaw represents almost an unblockable dude. What do you guys vote here? If I play Ichorclaw, we have the bluff of like Vines backup. If I play the Cystbearer, I can block and kill the Sentinel. Represent a bigger threat. I think I'm going to go Cystbearer here. And I do want to attack. I want that thing to be... yeah. Ichorclaw with real gen backup. Use all the mana. Says, why do I need such a long name? Yeah, I think I'm going to roll that route. And I am going to attack. I want to think a long time so he thinks like, oh, am I on something different here? Well, you think I should attack here? If I don't, and I draw a pump, I'll have the option. He's probably sitting on a Vines. That's my concern. So I'm pretty much at 3 life. I'm going to attack. Stay true to my nature of being aggro. Make him curious. Make him wince. Make him something. Alright, so that's probably not going to attack. Because now it's a little 1-1. Well, it's what's nice about being at 11 life. We don't really have to worry about it too much. Oh, now we do have to worry about it. If he's got, I think if he had Vines, he would have played it already. Ugh. Perfect scenario. Look at that. Well, we asked for it. Playing sloppy in that first game, so boom, boom, boom. All we can hope for here is the old misclick. Crunchitude. Well, if I had a time machine, I would definitely not attack there, because that did definitely mean the difference. So we're down immediately against Stompy 0-2. That sucks, but we'll turn it around. We'll get positive. We'll do all that stuff. Come on now. And go over the list here while we can. Whoop. Yeah. So anyway, we have the big, if you're joining us late, we're playing a pretty standard Infect list, 4 of a lot of stuff, but our main tech we're trying out, or I'm trying to go for, is the Treetop Bracers. It says enchanted creature gets +1/1, which is already a boost, and can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. And even quick flyers, if you think about them, they're 1/1, so you've already got those beat. And then late flyers, it's late, and unfortunately it didn't showcase yet, but this deck can have some pretty explosive starts, and usually if somebody's hard casting a Mole Drifter, you've already beaten them. Our sideboard is pretty slanted against Fae, which I haven't seen much of lately. It seems to only be in the challenges, and not many people seem to play it in the leagues, at least in my experience. But 4 archers and 3 gut shots, which serves double duty against standard bear. We don't want to see that with all the pump that we've got rolling around. So yeah, so let's be honest, that Stompy matchup, we didn't see any of our tech or any of our sideboard, and we were within 1 swing, so there's that. But just shows, you know, how crazy narrow that those decision trees can be. Yeah. Inviting death against Stompy with all the it's neat how that deck has evolved from Stompy of old, and then Green One was around and kind of showcased the whole like hey, let's use 4 Hunger of the Howl packs and go from there, which was a complete, you know, like, what are you thinking sort of move for quite a few months, maybe even a year. And then it slowly became kind of the norm in Stompy, and you get the Nest Invader in there to fuel it and other cards. So yeah, it's neat to see just the evolution of the deck. And I know Hermifax is kind of like the Stompy guy now, and he's running 16, and I don't know how he does it. I've had some good games with it, but it's funny when you cut lands. It happens with elves all the time. A funny thing happens. You cut lands, you get flooded. So I was noticing that too. Like once I went from 20 to 19 lands in this brew, all of a sudden it was like, oh man, I'm getting flooded now. It's like, wait a minute, you lost a land. How does that math work out? But in a weird way, who knows? Maybe it has something to do with dark matter and quantum and blah blah blah. But Nerd of the Core is in the house. All right, hey, I do think 16 lands is wrong. 17 is probably correct. Yeah, but you can't really argue with his results. I know we were both kind of bottom of the barrel the last few outings with that, but yeah, here we go. All right, let's see if we can turn this around and not punt so badly. That was atrocious. Again, I know I've apologized a few times for it, but that was worth a few apologies. One land, not a fan. Running 19 with 2 cyclers. Yeah, we're going to ship this. We are on the draw, but without Gitaxian Probe or anything like that. I'm going to ship it. All lands, no creatures, but we do have 2 draws here. Unfortunately, we're going to keep. Hopefully we see a creature. Yeah, I think just about everybody does, really. I don't know if... actually, I think the only deck that's repeated in theory has been Kung Fu Trees' Unearth, or what do you call it, Zoom deck. There's been a variant of that I think finished, and he got it, and then somebody else got it, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like, I think, the only repeat deck that's done it yet, if I'm not mistaken. But all right. So I said, it's about 50-50 against Stompy and against Affinity, and here we go. You know what? I'm actually going to lead with the Thicket. I've had this happen before, and I don't want to be stultified on lands here when it comes down. So, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Is it Delver? That be true. Come on, baby. Something. Well, we got some defense. We're going to hit really hard if we can hit. I was laughing just last night. I was playing somebody. It might have been Borzai here, that my opponent now, in a league, and I lost to Affinity, and he had, how we always have that private joke about having Galvanic Blast. They always have it. He had all 4 of them in the third and final game, and it was just like, are you kidding me? He told me afterwards, it was just like, and I had a creature heavy hand, and I'm like, all right, I think I got this, and I was like, zap, zap, zap. I was like, are you kidding me? And then zap. I was just like almost on tilt. That was pretty crazy. Double strike, hitting us early. Here it comes. Boy, no rest for the wicked. Good grief. Look at this. What a nice draw. Look at that. Beautiful. I should just pump it to make a difference. I've never seen Affinity go off that fast in a I know it's in theory, but that's pretty impressive. So it's very similar to Stompy as far as we're going to bring in our moments pieces. Don't know if we need all 4. I think 3 will be enough. Side out. A seal. A Groundswell. This. That. And a Mamba. And we will hope for the best. We shall see. Had the nuts. That was pretty nuts, says Siraz. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Not quite sure. I know if I built Affinity, it would feel a little bit like that, where it's just like, bleh, just go for it. Yes, I would like to play first, and let's have a creature this time. Well, shoot. What do you guys say? This is tough. We technically can do something for the first 3 turns even if we don't draw a land, and Affinity has very slow starts as far as like a creature getting in our way outside of a Flare Husk or early Galvanic Blast. If he has the early Galvanic Blast, we got Mutagenic Growth. Yeah. I think that's a keep too. I just want to stare at it because of my brain fog and sleepiness the last few weeks. I had to change the show date to Sundays, and then I'll be wide awake. Yeah, all right, guys. Thank you for the emotional support. If anything, I will keep. Watch, I click on Mulligan the way I've been playing. All right. Here we go. So anybody got some new brews you want to talk about in the chat? Some cool new stuff? Outside of a Galvanic Blast early, this doesn't feel too bad. I mean, if we hit our forest, it's going to feel really good. We'll have a turn 2 win. Hey, maybe we got one? You know, a lot of them are running Dispel now, so... Well, shoot. You know, outside of a Electrickery, I'm going to just go with Volume here. Still got maybe 1 or 2 more turns before critters start showing up. Hopefully that can mean the difference. Sometimes it sucks to put Treetop Bracers on an Ichorclaw Myr because you're like, I want things to block that, but, you know, the game dictates some strange stuff sometimes. All right, we got one more turn, then the S is going to hit the fan. Oh, come on now. Let's get real here. Well, let's see. That's 4. Galvanic Blast is not going to be saved by Mutagenic Growth, so I think we go for it here. Normally, Mutagenic's a nice call against Galvanic when they don't have Metalcraft, but he's already got 3 out, and I'm pretty sure one of these is going to get roasted, and I'm not going to use it in defense. So I'm going to choose the one in case he has Gut Shot. I'm going to choose the other one, and boink. All right, now he's got to do something. Oh, the black-white deck. Send a link to Shirazama on our little fight. We'll post that up there for you, Nerd of the Core. I've been playing around with a Goblin Bombardment deck. Oh, yeah, says Mike Man. Yeah, the Shiraz is on the Grixis Flurry Transformative sideboard build. Cool. What was I talking to the other day that was brewing that? Can't quite remember. Hey, what a nice time to get this, huh? Well... Tapped out. Let me showcase. Let me show you the power of this fully functional. So this is an interesting scenario because I mean we've got the win regardless. Outside of a, well, you know he could have Gut Shot here, but we've dropped this, so this will be a what? Yeah, we got like an 11 coming through. I would love to show you Treetop Bracers right now, but in the case that he has Gut Shot, I don't want to just fall for that. So let me just quadruple check. I've been talking so much that I have played a forest. Yes. Oh, gosh, the way I've been playing today. We're going to go from there. So I'm just going to attack with both. And we're going to do it the old school style. So you won't be able to see Treetop here. So Friday Show Hype, says Trebor. Hey, good to see you. And thank you for chiming in. Always nice to see new blood in the house. So we both have some pretty fast kills amongst us. 7 will get you there. This will get me there quicker. Boink. Usually don't like overkill, but as bad as I've been playing this morning, hey, we're happy we got one in there. All right, so Treetop Bracers did show up. I really prefer this card over the Rot Wolf. That extra buffer, if you think about Shock, Disfigure, there's so many things that, Quicksand, there's so many things that kill 2/2s, and this 2/3 for the same mana I think is way superior. Well, we're going to be on the draw. I think I'm going to take out a Thicket, go to 18. We'll be on the draw and bring in the Fourth Moment's Peace. And hope for the best. Boom, watch we get flooded. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've been really lacking in my homework lately versus usual. Like I said, it's you know, accountants have their season and stuff like that. September, October is a really busy season in my world. So, oh boy, we really like this hand. We'll keep. This is like, you know, all the way up till about Thanksgiving. It's just the TV business. It's like when everybody. It's pretty much like the upfronts and when everybody makes their money on shows that exist, and so, you know, all eyes are on the projects and stuff. So it can get pretty crazy. But boy, if we can't keep this Glistener alive, this isn't going to be that good of a hand. All right, boy. You know what? I was just going to say probably the best card we could draw is another Elf, just so if he does have that early spot removal, we've got a way out of it. But looks like we got that covered. Yeah, it's about time. So Belcher Mage says, what a great hand. I'm like, yes, finally. It's nice to have. All right. Don't like this. Early blocker, early everything, and he already has the goods. Please don't roast this. Wait till my turn so I can pump and save. I don't think I'm going to save it if he does it. Okay, good. Boy, you know, after that first game, though, what was that? Turn 3, I think he killed us. 4, maybe. It's fine. We have Rancor 2 Bex and Mutagenic. Yeah. However, what a strange decision tree this is. I can definitely save that. What do you guys vote here? This is interesting. My knee jerk is Treetop go, I mean attack go, and then win the next turn. 2, 4, 6. We don't have vines, so we can't really interact with a Tog. Rancor, really. See if he blocks. That's a good point. So that way 3, 2, 4, 6, 9. That would get us to within 1. I like bracers, then kill him next turn, says Dankweed Duck. Thank you for that, sir. Anybody else? I'm kind of going with Duck on that one. I've always had an affinity for ducks anyway. I like bracers. I think Rancor, says Nerd of the Core. He could block the trample, which would kill the insta-win. Alrighty. Well, it seems a few more of you want to do the Rancor. Yeah, and then the other elf. That's because I have the other elf. I think that might be the play. That's true. If he pumps, he wipes the board. All right. Looks like Duck and I are in the minority there. I am definitely going to favor the group think over what I'm thinking this morning, because not that I'm as bad as I was last week, but no amount of coffee seems to really wipe away just legit sleep. So. Let's go. Let's see. What's he got? That's even Electrickery doesn't save him here. Attack! Pretend I have giant growth. The extra elf makes all the difference, says Belcher Mage. I agree. It does seem to, doesn't it? Now, how far is he willing to go? Ooh. Okay. Darn it. So we take a galvanic blast of sorts to our face. Splat. I love when people pump the Atog thinking it's going to save it. Hopefully he does that. Ooh, oh, we're still going to hit him for 5. I've seen that a lot lately. People will pump the Atog thinking it's going to like reset damage, and don't do that, people. Infect counters are like Wither. They stick around. Yeah, no kidding. Belcher Mage, you said it all there. This is like where I was last night, where it's like, are you kidding me? You know, he's not even at 10 cards deep, and he's got 2 of the answers. That's what it always feels like when you're on the other end of it, right? How far is this guy going to go? All right. He's going to do it, isn't he? Look at this. Do we really go all out here? I think we do. What do you guys vote? Mutagenic here? The Atog's going to die. As is, and we're only going to hit for 1. Oh boy, this is interesting. Play it safe. What does that mean? Keep 1, cast the elf. All in, dealer. You kill the Atog. Yeah, alright. So let it go. Alright. We'll let this one go. It's probably got it there. End up only hitting for the 1. Bring this out and hope for the best. Good news, seeing a gut shot like that usually denotes that that might be the tech that they bring in and they don't have much else. But gosh, he's already at the crucial. Don't be red. Don't be red. All right, it's not red. Yippee! Land, please. Shoot. We don't win. I wish we did. Q Galvanic Blast. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. The Bracer would have been sweep versus gut shot. Yeah, knowing that he's got that. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the old. Well, you know, the Bracers doesn't do much against a gut shot draw here. We could get him to 6. You just go for it. Treetop, he says. Son of a gun. Alright. We'll get this out. Only reason I don't like this play is kind of if he does have a flyer, it'll make his decision a little bit easier. We could add one more infect to it, but this will get us out of worrying about electrickery and such. If I see red, I know what it is. We all do. Here comes red. Oh, it's an Atog. Well, in this sort of thing, we really like this because now this feels really good. All right. Go here. Go here. And hopefully swing for the win. Let's remember, says I to myself, Mr. Jackass, to pump it. So apparently this morning I'm not very good at counting. All right, so we're 1-1. I think we could have probably won that Stompy matchup, but that was a little bit miserable. We're gonna roll right into the next one here, guys. One good thing about playing Infect, it tends to be a little bit fast, but our opponents sure aren't in showing up. So boom, there we are. Yeah. Thanks for all the support there, guys. Digitally holding my hand and emotions in check. We're supposed to be getting a heat wave out here in California coming up in about another day or two. I'm not looking forward to that. It's been nice and overcast and feels like I live in Washington, the state. So that I'm liking. But come on now. What do we got? What do we got? What is going on here? Didn't they join already? Loving Infect, says Trebor. Yeah, I really like it. My biggest argument against like people saying like, oh, it's dead. It's like, well, it's definitely not what it was with Invigorate. I mean, a blind person could tell you that. But you know, there are times, and I've said this before, but if you want to think like me, I don't know if that's always a good thing. When you had Invigorate in the list, it didn't mean you drew it. There were plenty of times when it could win outside of that, and Seal of Strength represents an interesting. I guess just a level play, just because it's like this uncounterable thing once it's out, and it stops so much removal, and it's just one less. And there's a lot of scenarios where you almost don't even feel it. I mean, obviously, if it was unbanned, yes, I would use it like crazy. But I am going to keep this. We're on the draw. We've got a lot of stuff going down here. Some protection, a lot of critters. We'll keep. Oh yeah, mono white. Yeah, that's the. Need to know says that is our most requested deck. I probably get about 2 emails a month, which is a landslide more than any other when it comes to like, please play this and stuff. But I'm trying not to oversaturate. I know I got on a tribe kick for a while there, and I still am in the challenges, but had to kind of dilute the effect. Who knows? Maybe this I'll round out 3 weeks of Infect next week, and we'll bring that back. The problem with White Infect is it's good at what Infect isn't good at, and vice versa. It's a kind of a pressing, slower win, and so when I tend to play it, of course, I run into like Tron all day long, and they have 7 or 8 turns to set up, and then it's kind of Marco Vaggio in the house. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Been toying around with a sweet W Infect Auras list, as Dinkweed Duck. Nice, like to see that list. Oh, Umbaguru says it's super hot up in Washington a couple weeks ago with all the Canada smoke. I don't know anything about that. I'm not much onto current events, so Evil Pirate is taking quite a while and ruining the quality of our show while he looks at his hand for ages. You know what? Let's see what he says here. No, gonna ghost you just so you know. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Oh, just traditional fairies, huh? Looks that way. We'll bring out this. See how much you want that second turn ninja now, baby. As long as we hit our land, that would be nice. Definitely play Infect, says they're like... yeah. All right. Snappy goes. Well, I got no answer for that. Nerd of the course says, honestly, I like to see you take the energy and lessons you put into turning tribe and apply that to UG Infect. Interesting. Yeah, I'm telling you the most what's be the best word for that? The most focused I've seen Infect as far as like it turning around and making me money has been the Golgari list. It just really seems at home there. And I look at it and it doesn't excite me, and I don't. But every time I play it, it seems to like 4-1 or 3-2. Usually it's that or better. Boy, everybody just hold out your hand and pat me on the shoulder and say they're there, because we all know what's coming, right? It's just a matter of what we want him to counter here. So. I mean, it's better than discarding, I guess. Do we lose the Seal of Strength or the Glistener Elf? He knows we've got the one. All right, I wish I had another land, darn it. It'd be nice to bait him here a little bit. Hey, that's a good scenario in my book. He's got 3 cards and no sprite in hand. That's nice. I almost did that, nerd. It probably would have been right. Yeah, that's where I lean to, Little Fight, having so many creatures in our hand. We're not really hurting for getting that out, and plus, all of our other creatures are better. Good grief. Did I mention I run 19 lands in a list that usually runs 17? All right. There it is. Tempo City. No ninja, no ninja, no ninja. All right. We're still got it. Boy, that first game, what was that? No lands, no lands, no lands? Is that how that one went? Of course, we lost that one. This isn't much better. Good grief. Have you guys ever experienced that too? You put in 1 or even maybe 2 more lands than is standard and you get screwed. It's like this weird evil magic inside of magic. Okay, Delver's down. Door is open. He's probably got another daze. That's what that signals to me. Good grief. Wow. This is some bad drawing here. I'll pitch a Mamba in this scenario. You should air the anti-ninja clip during the next break. Alrighty, it's good I can't choose, but I did have that one queued up, and so I will lean on ninja next as I go lick my wounds. Come on. I almost don't want this to be a land. It's neat to publicly be able to just see this just epic screw happening. It's like, check that out. Yeah, baby. That's what I needed. Just one more card that isn't a land and we'll have them. Then it's all over. I'm gonna drop a Groundswell. Groundswell's like laughing at me. It's like, what does landfall mean? You ever hear that strange word? As we probably draw one and walk in. This is ridiculous. Okay, just out of curiosity, let's see how. All right, next one. Is there a pocket something here? Good grief. All right, begin sideboarding. What's nice is we don't really like the Treetop Bracers here, which makes room for a lot of other stuff. Let me see. Mutagenic's not as good. I'm going to bring in all my archers and my gut shots. Then we'll see how many we need to lose. 2. I'm always kind of a fan of losing a Mamba in most matchups. Not going to have to do much regenerating against blue either. Want our early game. Rancor's going to shine. Mutagenic with all the life loss here might be, even though it negates that immediate thrill kill, seeing days doesn't hold as much weight for me. I love Seal of Strength because it's a really kind of baits counters out if you hold back that second land. Alright, let's take out 1 Groundswell and we'll go from here with this and hope for the best. Well, we're 1-1, so it's not the saddest day. One of these days we'll go 0-5. That'll be pretty hilarious. Alright, we like this. And we'll keep this. You know, if I knew I was drawing a forest next, I would drop the seal and go. But I'm almost thinking the thicket's the play here so that I have I have backup for blessing. As far as being able to protect the creature there. Ooh. Oh, we've gone 5-0 like 5 times, I think, Little Fight. Every time I play elves or a real serious deck, it seems to go that way, as long as it's Naya colors, right? Those are actually, it's funny though, when I look at the numbers, those are always the shows that just don't get many views or people aren't too interested in. It's always the weird quirky brews, so that's kind of what we've become known for. Save my seriousness for the challenges. Alright, darn it. I'm going to play this. This feels weird, but as much as this thing's been screwing with me as far as mana screw goes today, haven't had much flood, had a lot of screw, which does make no sense at 19 lands when you're supposed to run 17. You would think the opposite, but nope. Alright. This I like. Squeak this dude out outside of Day's control. Throw this out. Hopefully we don't walk into a Vapor Snag. If we do, we've got a nice bait. So I like this scenario here because the onus is on him to stay alive. And this scenario is pretty interesting. So it's kind of a question of like, what don't I want? So I don't really want the Mamba. I really like the Myr because it kills everything in his deck if it swings. So although we could I'm going to cast this pre-combat, hopefully draw out maybe a snap combo and I'll be able to blessing, okay, or that. And we'll rock from here. I think if he had snap he would have played it there. So I'm going to kind of go all out here while we can, put him up against it so that he feels obligated to play a creature and not sit back and counter stuff. And if he does, that's fine too. Ooh, boy, did we draw good here. This feels really good. So, same logic. I pre-combat. If he's got a counter spell, I want him to use it now. Snap, whatever. Use it now. Okay. Here comes the fun. Boy, my card frame title says it all today, right? Phyrexian, Phyrexian, Phyrexian. Yowza. It's everywhere, baby. Well, we were screwed. Maybe he got all of our land mana and it's getting flooded on the other side of this. Who knows? Alright, let's prevent that with this. He's already got his 2 hard counters out, so hopefully this isn't answered. But if it is, he's locked out. Well, no, snap. I'm sure glad more people don't play that card because I love it. When I brew blue, boy, I think it's well worth the extra mana for instead of Vapor Snag. Just, I mean, look at that scenario. Just really sets things up. All right, come and get it, fairy. Really? All right. You got an answer for that too? All right. Snap is so good. Yeah, it's funny. It just kind of went bye-bye. Everybody's using Vapor Snag now, and it's like, gosh, free mana. Oh, nasty. No wonder he let that through. All right. Well, there's no way around that, is there? Boink. This is when we really want our Cystbearer to show up. Or that at this mana count, right? You know, for like 1 week there was so much Delver. This was before Delver Red, that I actually used to run Pistis Strike in the sideboard for this exact scenario. I had a lot of notes on Infect, and I was always getting the opponent to 9. And I was like, "Jah!" And you know, I'd sit there and Spire Golem and sit back all arrogantly and like, Pistis Strike, whack, I win. That was good times. So we're kind of locked out here without ew. I'm gonna have to wait for a Apostle's Blessing here, at least to buy 1 turn. That still won't really work. Need our dudes here. Pistis Strike. P-I-S-T-U-S, I think is how you spell it. Other fight. There it is. I know it was in my creatureless Infect build, which was quite a hoot. Man, he's at 1. Come on now. Why can't we push this through? Son of a gun. I keep writing myself the same note. It's like, be more patient. Be more patient. It's craziness. I kind of want to kill this now, just to stop a damn ninja from coming out. He's got another Fae. This game's over. Serrated Arrows is some old school tech there. Yowza. Alright. God, he gets the damage in, and it Snap's really showcasing its value here. Don't have to convince me, but yeah, Serrated Arrows, guys, 3-4 years ago, that was just in every sideboard, and you don't see it all that much anymore. But boy, it's a house. I mean, probably the worst feared card outside of Quicksand for Tribe too. Just say good night. Q Ninja. He's at 9. Come on now. Pistis Strike for the win. He's got 1 fairy in his hand. God, I wish we were running that. Wow, 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 wow. I'm going to play it just to absorb the arrows. Hopefully he counters it. That'd be pretty funny. So if you're in this position, ladies and gentlemen, don't try to regenerate the Mamba. That'd be about as silly as trying to pump in a Tog and think it's going to live, which seems to be common practice amongst many. Pauper got too fast for arrows to have that many dedicated sideboard slots, says Nerd of the Core. That's a good point. Except that you could argue that it used to be a lot faster. Alright, gosh. This is so depressing. I mean, we walk into a fairy, go on a 2-turn clock, or do we... I don't even know if they'd bite at that. I have so much hate for this matchup. Where's our archers? Where's our other gut shots? 16 cards in and dead as a doornail. I'd play the Sprite here if I was him. 2-turn clock. But that's me. Watch. We'll have a third snap. Yeah, I should have clarified that. Nerd of the Core. I meant like long ago, like back in the old Empty the Warrens days. What? And as usual, I don't hear from people all week long, but when it's Friday, Every single person that knows me tends to text me, so sorry for the buzzing in the background. Actually, I kind of barked at my brother the other day. I was just like, dude, how long have you known that I do this on Fridays? I don't hear from you all week, and then you like spam text me like every freaking Friday. It's like, all right, we're dead. Well, apologies. We're 1 and 2. We lost to Stompy, which we shouldn't have. That was I lost to Stompy. The deck didn't. Then we beat Affinity, and we lost to Delver. And we have not had very good hands as far as logic goes, being that we're getting screwed and we're running more land than we're supposed to. But enough whining. I'm going to roll as requested to commercial, and we'll be back just after this, and we'll see you in just a few.
Keith Privet, New York Post. Is it true that many of the throwing stars used in the failed massacre were indeed throwing stars from your own collection?
The throwing stars that I use in my business were locked in my cabinet. It's this throwing star music and the throwing star sitcoms that are the real culprits.
Yes, Carrie Downey, USA Today. Is it possible that your son is emulating you by mimicking certain aspects of your profession?
Only occasionally have I taken my son on ninja raids, and I have never taught him to focus the killing chi of the forefathers. It is these ninja movies that are influencing our children. My son rented that Pat Morita movie, American Ninja 5. Pat Morita is the one who should go to jail. I'll pull the switch on Pat Morita myself. Ninjas don't kill people. Pat Morita playing ninjas kills people.
Sid Kidman, Newsday. Ninjas do kill people.
Magic of Yavamaya, now in your kitchen. Mutagenic spaghetti. The only noodles whose power and tastiness are equal only to their legendary ingredients. Our pasta is made from only the finest weather seed, imported from Dominaria straight to your dinner table. Enjoy Mutagenic spaghetti. Combine it with our signature Raffaello's cheeses and finish it off with a glass of sweet Rashidan. Mutagenic, the magic of Yavamaya in every bite.
Available at Murasa's Market.
Live from Ravnica, it's the first annual Pauper Awards, celebrating excellence in the magical arts. Brought to you by Pauperganda. Our winner for Best Band goes to Cloud of Fairies, which won by a landslide of painful Turn 2 memories. Congratulations and good riddance. Our next award is for Best Flavor Text. There were many great nominees this year, but the poppy goes to Goblin Gardener for his attempt at growing a sausage tree. Our final poppy goes to our Player of the Year. Our winner is Kung Fu Tree. Consistent high tournament placements as well as creating the new archetype Delver Red. Congratulations to all our winners.
And we're back. Just in time. Just started this matchup. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, the bot's working. Look at that. Keeping score for me. Breaker Dan. I know I've played this guy many times. I think I've chatted with him or he's emailed us a bit. 2 creatures, 2 lands. Good stuff. All right, we'll keep this. Kind of a hand, but ooh, man, if you could see the bottom of my coffee cup, I think the filter broke. It's like black sand. Yowza. Lay off of that stuff. Zerlik in the house. Does does KFT know he won? Oh yeah, he does. I let him know before. It was a pretty obvious choice, and I think he won the very next week after we did that. So like it means anything. It's just an arbitrary our little silly award show, but hey, I've always wanted to do that, cut to old applause footage and stuff, and I think well deserved. So boom, 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 boom. Had to get the sausage tree in there for Shirazamon. Again, Stukov, hello, good to see ya. Arabian Nights and Arabian Days. All right, well, the evil tidings just keep rolling. It looks like we've got a white bordered swamp. One thing Infect doesn't want to see is swamps. Ugh, 2 of them. Ugh. All right. Well, what don't we like the most? I always prefer the Myr over the Mamba. No knock on Kobe. And just later that gets better, but early on, hey, look, it lived at least for half a turn. Wow, look at this. It might live. It's probably waiting for us to go all in, all right? Well, before we do, outside of an Echoing Decay, I'm going to choose the Myr on this one. I've got a little bit of backup. Now I'm Edict proof, in theory. Whew. I do not want to tempt fate. I'm going to play a little conservative here. Sit back, wait for Groundswell for the next time. We'll see. Those are 2 of the most disgusting lands I've ever seen in my life. Edict's in the house. Yeah, that kind of sounds funny. Edict, like, eat it! Yeah, we'll lose that. Because if a Chittering Rats or something comes down, we're going to have some bad times to account for. Oh, man, I really want to show the tech, but I got to stay out of Edict. And we've got this constant, like, backup plan here. So, I'm going to roll, try to keep Mutagenic for our little Alpha Strike or combat. Make him think he's safe. I've noticed if you don't want to, I guess the best term for it's kind of a throw-up hand. You don't want to go bleh with all your stuff and get them like, well, exactly what happened last game. Our opponent's at 9 Infect counters. It's like, well, that did a lot of good. Might have been better making him have that false sense of security as an Infect player and be like, oh, man, yeah, I got a few, wham, like what happened to us against Affinity, that lightning turn 2 or 3 kill that they got on us. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I know. Might be playing Black Line Destruction. Somebody, I can't remember who, I don't have it right in front of me, sent me a pretty cool list that kept going 3-2. Apologies for not remembering the name. And I got it on email. Oops, not that ugly guy. Thought I had it up, but I won't wreck the show because of it. All right, so we have Groundswell. Let's swing with both. I'm going to target the Mamba because I care less about it. And if he's got instant tricks, be able to do something about it. Moreover than the Ichorclaw. Kind of a red herring game, like, you know, a little shell game. You want to boost the stuff that you don't really care that much about. Well, here comes lethal. Let's hope it works. Yeah, I'm going to use this. Hey, we won one against a deck we're not supposed to be able to beat. MBC up 1. Treetop's not that bad against them, but I vastly prefer Pulse of Murasa just to keep the threats coming. I've been tempted in the past when I see a very heavy like Caligula build. If you're new to Pauperganda, what that means is, in my terms, is something that just kill that. If it's that heavy and there's edicts all over the place, I will actually bring in Scattershot Archers just to eat the food, eat the edicts. But we're going to take out our Bracers. I don't want to lose all of them. I'm going to lose 2 of them. And yeah, we'll lose all of them. We've got our Rancor, superior creatures. So with the Cystbearer, you know, if he's got witches, this is just a godsend. If you see Veridan Longbow, this is a godsend. And then, you know, it's like you're playing 3, 4, and 5 versions of it with this, with a little bit of math resetting. So good stuff. All right. Quickly run over the list here. All right. Poor opponent's probably, Breaker Dan's probably kicking himself like, how did I lose to Infect? It's like one of the best matchups he can have. Another pretty good hand. But, you know, let's be realistic. If he's got this figure Edict, we're dead. But we have, you know, the Murasa keeps it real. We've got a quick land, so we'll keep. Really like this to be a mutagenic just to get us out of a turn 1 disfigure. But what you going to do? Here we go. Anybody getting the Mayweather fight this weekend? I know we're going to have it here at the house and have a few friends over for just the pure spectacle of it. I think it's like some worldwide phenomenon now. Come on. Oh, well, that's pretty good too. If this does meet with an early death, which is likely, I will probably, yeah, I will probably slow roll the Myr so I at least have Vines back up. Oh, he's on Myr. Okay. Well, spoke too soon. Now that Scattershot seems like a good idea. Well, maybe not. This is when you love Seal of Strength. I would love to set that down right now. You know he's got removal, except he might have exclude too, but I'm going to roll the dice and be patient, something I'm trying to work on. Please help me out. Disgusting Land is out. Yeah, be more patient. Yeah. Alright, I got this. Now comes the fun. Got end of turn, go get our creature back if all else fails. Now the deck's playing land-wise. This is how it usually feels, guys. This is what my point where it's like I've got the landfall when I want it. I'm hitting my drops. Doesn't feel flooded, doesn't feel, but man. Hey, Lexicon, thanks for the host, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm going to go tell Breaker Dan to stop playing these ugly lands. Those are atrocious. So outside of a Diabolic Edict, what's that other one, the where you gain the life? Feeling pretty good here. Don't want any sacrificial effects. I just love, love, love having Ichorclaw Myr in the house. Let's get out of Edict Bait. Let's play this. And let's go to town. We love when people block this. But I'm not gonna do the Groundswell. I'm not gonna do it. I'd love to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. I'd be really curious lifetime if I had to kept track how often just good old Giant Growth is better than Groundswell. Be interesting. Ooh, here comes the Disfigure. Oh, good. He's going to wait till it's my turn. Never do this if you're playing against Infect. Always do the stuff on because I don't get the boost that way. No soup for you. Kick it, baby. Yeehaw. Kenwaku, checking in from work. Good to see you. Pulse main. No, this is game 2. Come on, land. Nope. Alrighty. Coming on over for a whole bunch. For a whole punch. Okay, so that's going to 4 will get through. Nope. Yeah, 4 will get through. 5. That'll be 6, 7. Right? 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, let's try to win here. Might as well do it on this in case he's got like snuff out. Let me just, because I've had so little sleep lately. 5. 4 will get through. This will be 5. 6, 7. 7 will kill. Okay. Groundswell onto this, please. And do we win? I think we do. Alright. So we're 2-2. We beat Affinity. We beat Myr. We lost to Basic Delver. And we lost to Stompy. Or I should say I lost. I don't think the deck did. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I apologize. I've got to run to the restroom yet again, and there's a knock at the door. So I'm going to roll this, and I'll be back in like 4 minutes, and we'll finish up this contest. See you then.
Welcome to Decklist Assist. Here to help assist me is the common we all know and love, Tim. Thanks, D. Ladies and gentlemen, Pauper Magic games have countless variables and almost infinite options to create with, so it can be quite daunting when you first start a new deck idea. Our Decklist Assist is here to provide a 6-point checklist, allowing you to roughly determine how solid your deck will be within a given metagame. 6 being the top deck score, whereas 2 may suggest you need to keep tweaking your brew. First on our checklist is Evasion. An evasion ability is an ability an attacking creature has that restricts what can block it. Flying, Shadow, and Landwalk abilities are just a few examples of some of the many evasions Pauper has to offer. Simply put, if your creatures lack evasion, your opponents have more options. And more options mean more ways to negate your strategy. Additionally, score spells like Apostle's Blessing as having evasion since they grant it for a turn. But keep in mind, if you're only running one spell in your 60 that fits our example, it may be more accurate to score our Apostle's Blessing example at a 0.5 or lower. Judge accordingly. Graveyard. This is a broad category and can simply mean including a few cards with flashback, all the way to basing your entire deck around a graveyard engine like Tortured Existence style decks. Your graveyard should be doing something to promote the game state. If your graveyard just sits there and collects discarded efforts of battle, you should have a great reason why. A lone copy of Grim Harvest or one of the many amazing retrace cards can go a long way in making your deck design shine and pull off games it would otherwise be losing. Draw. It's no surprise that blue shines at this, so we're going to ignore its vast catalog of draw within Pauper. I should know. Instead, let's look closely at the other colored options and try to include some draw wherever possible. It can be something as simple as playing cards that cycle. Look to sneak blue into builds that don't have it. In other words, find ways to draw cards outside of blue. Here are just a few non-blue gems. If they're not in your deck list, have a clear reason why they're not. Night's Whisper, Faithless Looting, Crocent Tusker, Abundant Growth, Manamorphous. White is the hottest color to bend this rule, and it can be rough, but using runes of protections instead of circles of protection will allow you to pick and choose when and if you play the enchantment, or draw a card with cycling. However, this should be done only in white heavy mana builds. Additionally, Spellbombs, Chromatic Spheres, and Stars, as well as the king we all play and use, Gitaxian Probe, are all great ways to incorporate draw outside of blue-based cards. Removal. Removal often means the difference between winning and losing. Remember, every metagame is different and requires a good estimation of how much removal you'll need. You should aim for flexible removal in your starting 60 wherever possible. In other words, removal that does something even if you have no targets. For instance, Acacian Javelineers, Piracy Charm, Capsize, Complete Imp, Evankar's Justice, Crypt Rats, Fume Spitter, any direct damage spell that can target creatures and players, Shinin of Life's Roar, Quicksand, Prismatic Strands, Hydroblast, Pyroblast, Tendrils of Corruption, Rancid Earth, Martyr of Ashes, Gutshot, and Longbow are just a few examples of the many flexible options available when choosing your main deck removal options. Life Gain. To date, there is no counter for life gain in Pauper. Some strategies like Tokens and Gone take this to the extreme, gaining so much life that many Tier 1 decks like Delver simply can't do enough damage to matter. Think about it. Most decks are designed to deal 20 damage as fast as possible. By including life gain in your deck, you're fundamentally changing the life equation to favor your game plan. White and green excel at this, so we're not going to list many of those gems. However, here's a quick list of cards you can consider for gaining life. Silvok Lifestaff, Tendrils of Corruption, Brindleboard, Gnaw to the Bone, Pulse of Murasa, Siphon Life, Crypt Incursion, Corrupt, Radiant Fountain, Armadillo Cloak, creatures with lifelink like Bolt Scourge, and the dual lands that grant 1 life. Bottle Gnomes and the sneaky Children of Corliss are just a sample of options in the vast pool of Pauper. Mass Sweeper. Often spot removal isn't enough to get the job done. I should know. Somewhere in your 75, you should have the ability to take out multiple threats in one card. This is our least important category, but if you can attain it, all the better. Here are some top choices to consider so you don't get trampled by the weenie masses. Fade Away, Evankar's Justice, Shrivel, Wail of the Nim, Crypt Rats, Martyr of Ashes, Electricity, Cartpan Shaman, Bloodfire Dwarf, Sandstorm, and even Prismatic Strands if you have enough blockers of a different color than your opponent. So there you have it, a simple 6-point system to provide you with a Pauper checklist. If your brew scores a 5 or 6, chances are it's going to be solid. Keep in mind that there are plenty of Tier 1 decks that bend or even break the above advice. That being said, this should provide a solid roadmap on your quest to become a better player and deck designer. Thanks, Tim. And remember, players often focus only on the deck and not the sideboard. Play your entire 75 and plan accordingly, because 2/3 of Magic are your sideboarded games.
We've harvested the hottest spices in all of Dominaria. We've delved deep into the forgotten caves of Keldor to bring you the hottest sauce of any plane. Introducing Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Our thermal alchemists have flame slashed and fire blasted only the most Syrian ingredient to bring a flame to your tongue that causes serious damage. Get tongued. Get Flame Tongue Hot Sauce. Deal 4 damage to any meal.
Available at all fine Sinclair superstores.
Alrighty, well, we're back. I wasn't going to roll to a commercial there, but I wanted to stop you guys waiting around with me and staring at a digital counter, so hopefully you appreciate that. Alright, last game, we're 2-2, trying to go for a little bit of profit here. Good hand. Again, this is the staple hand when you design a deck with 19 lands, This is kind of the the typical hand that you're kind of gunning for. So, all right. Hey, man, I'm loving the bot. It seems to be updating really good today. We've had 2 YouTube plugs, and then it's keeping track at the beginning of the round, which I really like. I don't want to have to type stuff in, and keeps the chat going a little more interactive there. So keep this. You know what I think I needed, guys, was water. I think I've had so much coffee and I've been sleep deprived, and I just had a big old cup of water, and man, I feel great. And bam, there's a swamp. That's 1 in 5 chance. What are you gonna do? Hey, nice. We got some rogue coming at us here. Dark Ritual. Is he playing my Black Infect list? Wow. Renegade Freighter. I have to read this outside of when this came out. When Renegade Freighter attacks, it gets +1/1 and gain trample. Do you think this is that that list that I think it was Malovbo came out with? Remember the little black weenie list? That was pretty cool. Pain Train. Yeah, man, that'd be a cool... If that card got really popular, that'd be a really cool name for it. Pain Train. I like it. All right. Well, I'm liking this. Now we've got... What I really, really, really want to see now is our Treetop Bracers. Because I think he's going to have a whole bunch of ground critters. The good news is I think if I've got the deck right in my brain of what he's on, I believe he's going to want to attack more than block. So we'll see. But come on, no edicts. It is that deck. You guys remember this about 5-6 months ago, maybe? Night Market Lookout. It was probably the week or two after this came out, and they came up with kind of a Sui black deck. And boy, we're going to really like our... let's not speak too soon. I don't think there's much removal in it, but it does gain life, which we don't care about. That's if you look at my Conan quote and the card frame below my ugly mug, you'll see, Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you. And what did I write? And to look the other way at life gain. I forget what it was, but holy crap. Look at this big old 4/3 coming through. You know, I don't know how this really works. If I did, I'm not going to, but if I did block that, does it die or stay out? I guess it would die. Wow, a few turn clock here. Except that we have a little faster clock, I believe. Come on. Let's see what we got here. Boom. Okay. We'll throw this on. I don't think he runs much in the way of removal, so I'm going to kind of try to... what do you guys vote here? We still have Groundswell next turn. If he keeps something back to block, I'm going to go for it. Hear the complaints of useless life gain. That's right. All right. I'll save the Phyrexian mana maybe for a Disfigure, but I don't believe they run any... What do you call... So next turn we will have the goods. I could get him to 9, but I'd rather have the surprise value double pump, so if he does have a trick, he tries to respond to Mutagenic, and then it's Vines time. We'll see. I tell you, that's my absolutely my favorite thing about playing Infect is just that when people are gaining life, it's like, it's like, you just feel like, you know, you got some little tax trick or something, or it's like, I don't have to pay for that, suckers. Good stuff. Alright, Pulse Tracker attacks. Each opponent loses 1 life. Sandstorm. There's a card you don't see very often. Be really good against this deck, wouldn't it? And mine. And a lot of decks. Okay. Apologies for that long break. Like I said, my oldest just got in his first car accident. It wasn't his fault, so that's the good news. Everybody's fine. It was just a little ding, but boy, he was shook up pretty bad emotionally. I think I ride him a little too hard. I'm a little too much of an old school dad that way. Cracking the whip and such. All right. Wow. Well, when you draw strong, you draw strong. Now, I'm going to... boy, I'm going to feel really dumb if he's got like a Diabolic Edict here. It's 1 card in his hand. I think we just go for it. See what he has here. Yeah, that was a misplay. I should have dropped the elf just in case. It was like I was inviting a disaster there. So I like the Treetop Bracer because he's not going to be able to block. He's coming all at us. So we're going to sideboard a lot like against Stompy. I don't think he has that many. He's playing like an all black deck, but there's artifacts in it too. I'm going to take out all but one blessing. The Mamba as usual. Gut Shot would be interesting here, but it's getting a little too cute. I've got my Moment's Peace. I'm going to roll like this. And we will hope for the best. So that's a win there. And we're getting a little bit lucky here. I mean, make up for my bad luck. As far as matchups go, I think we're drastically favored in this sort of a scenario. But who knows? I always say that and then watch I end up losing. So... Sui Black, I think we'll call this. But it's nice to not run into just heavy hitters all day long. All right. 3 critters. Nice pump. Curving out. We'll keep. Again, Mamba feels amazing in some matchups, but there's so often you just don't like seeing it. That's why I like to usually cut one in game 2 or 3. Because its purpose is usually kind of hold the ground while your other dudes do the heavy lifting or to buy edicts. But that's why I love Seal of Strength. That first turn tempo without anything to do. It's like, well, I'll take that. Boom. Possibly has stuff out of the board. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for that, Shiraz. I remember there being snuff outs in this list. So I will have to pay very close attention to alpha striking without Vines backup. You're right. I should put back in Apostle's Blessing. If he's playing the exact list of Love Bow. I don't even know how to say his name. I saw him on Pauper Classic Tuesdays when I had my time off, and he has the neatest accent. I forget where he's from, but he had just a really neat sounding voice. Much better than my boring Californian accent. I always assume wherever you're from you don't have an accent, but it's pretty apparent to most people where you're from when they hear you. Especially Boston. Don't get Little Fight started on his accents. Omuguru says, has anyone played around with Dash Hopes and Pauper? Yes, of course I have. Not publicly. And there was also... Hold on a minute here. Let me... if he does have removal... it's a fast enough deck, though. I'm going to bring out the Myr. There was a guy at the Seattle paper tournament that had an interesting black deck that was actually started off pretty strong. I think he was 3-0 at first, and then he kind of petered out, but just had a lot of true trippy new cards, but that was one of the other ones. But yeah, I just don't think giving your opponent an option is just almost never a good idea. I've argued back and forth about Browbeat with Little Fight too. It's like you just that's right on the edge there, but just giving your opponent a choice is usually a bad thing. Well, I think he's going to get this one if we don't draw a Moment's Peace. I got a weird feeling he's sitting on Snuff Out, which feels great against Infect because you don't care about your life. You cast all 4 of them in one turn and look the other way. Is any of these worth blocking, you think? No, he can't block with the feeder. All right. Come on, Moment's Peace. I only have 4 of you. Be nice to draw you in the next turn or 2. What? Oh, that's the answer. All right. So we see edicts. Yeah, there's something to be said for a Rakdos burn deck. There's some pretty good staying power with some of the cards, as long as you hit all your goods. All right. I'm gonna just bring the stuff here, get out of edict range. We're not gonna live too long if we don't draw a Moment's Peace or much else. Let's see. We represent 8 damage, 9 if he goes all out. Yeah, book burning. That's right. Shiraz, I think you might actually beat me at the whole rogue element. That seems to be I should have a little asterisk next to it. It's like tournament rogue, like just technically there enough, but it is fun sometimes to tinker around with just completely crazy builds. Ooh, 2, 4, 6 coming at us. We are dead next turn if we don't do something about it. Now, do we do something about it? He's on edicts. What do you guys vote here? I say we let it all through. Boop. I love rubbish rogue deck, says Shirazman, but I never play in leagues. Hey man, whatever. It's a game for a reason, right? Gotta first modus operandi is having fun. Nothing against that. Alright, 2, 4, so we're dead next turn if we don't have blockers. Yowza, we're dead either way, because the zombie's in the house. Zombies in the house. Yeah. He untaps, and we're dead. So I'm only going to attack here to just see if he has any snuff outs and things like that. Okay, watch out for the Shepherd Ender. That's a pretty cool end card. You know, you think about Well-Wisher, great card. The Goblin, Sparksmith, great card. I don't know if white really has one comparable, or blue, but man, this guy's pretty awesome too. Loss of life, you can't even prevent that. That's pretty badass. Oh, we can maybe live. No, we can't. He's still gonna come through. We lose life. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Boy, what a weird play on his part. Yeah. He attacks with all these block, sack, boom. Yeah, we're dead. 1 and 1. All right. The last game of the day, folks. If you're new to Pauperganda and our commercials and stuff, after this game, definitely stick around. We got 1 or 2 commercials to play before we go. Signal goes dead, but hopefully next few weeks I get a little bit better sleep. I know the last week and this week been a shade bit sleepy. I'm gonna lose the bearers here. One of them anyway. And a mutagenic, and I'm gonna add a blessing. You know, gosh, where were our moments pieces there, huh? So we'll go like this. I'm gonna do this little superstitious thing where I spread out the moments piece. It's like, just helps me sleep at night. Be like, oh, if I would have just, and it's like, yeah, look, I did it. Take that, randomizer. Let's hope we draw our sideboard a little bit. Actually, gut shot might actually be pretty good as far as a tempo play, but we'll keep this. Ugh. Well, we've got the goods, but man, barely keepable. We're attacking. I love this combo, but man, if he's got any, we'll keep it because we've got so much time. This represents so many turns, but oh boy, not feeling very confident here. Really like to draw a Glistener just as edict bait. That'd be swell. Swell? Does anybody say that since the 70s? Not that I was even coherent in the 70s. I think I was born in, yeah. I had 6 years in the 70s. I don't remember any of them. My memory starts around 6 or 7-ish. What about you guys? Anybody remember real far back? Outside of like little picture frames in your head. All right, we'll keep this. Opponent mold to 1. Swell. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Think we duck. Okay. Feeling a bit better. Pull it now. This feels really good if he doesn't edict us here, which I don't think he will because, well, what do I know? Nerve-wracking. Edict's got us beat no matter what, but at least Vines represents a snuff out response. 4th Bridge Prowler. Bonus points if you know what this does without looking. When 4th Bridge Prowler enters the battlefield. You may have target creature get -1/1 until the end of turn. Oh, man, that is nuts. Oh, boy. Nothing I can do. What a trip. I didn't even know that card existed. I think I mentioned it when the set just came out. I was like, maybe a little more proactive Fume Spitter, but yeah, that was if it was a counter, that'd be awesome, but just till the end of turn. But it's still pretty powerful. Another Night Market. All of a sudden, we don't feel that good, do we? But if we draw a critter, we're still in it. Don't want that. Okay, got plenty of land to drop our piece and a critter too, which is another reason this deck is kind of a little mana hungry. You know, this scenario, it's like if you're in a tight spot, let's say we were at 8 life, you know, drop a critter, still want to be able to play the piece. Oh, Dankly Duck says I use the Prowler in the UB Ninja deck. Very interesting. Yeah, it does sound fun. I've always been a fan of Fume Spitter myself, but that is pretty cool to see. Already at 10 life. We haven't infected him at all. This is good times. I'm going to pile this on. Going to keep Vastwood back so we have some peace. I don't know how explosive this deck can get. We'll roll from this. Yes, Mark Mello in the house. It sure is, he says. Looking very grim. Thanks for chiming in. Here comes the edict. Oh, or something worse. This is kind of what I'm hoping for, that he tries to do some sort of an alpha strike. Son of a gun. Nothing I can do about that. No. We can still do it. Yeah, I think all I needed was some water. At the beginning, oh, I love this card. When I first started Pauper, this was, I think, the very first card. I was like, people aren't playing that? Borrow Ghoul. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you exile the top creature card from your graveyard. He has one of them. All right. Well, I think we, gosh, that loss of life is going to be a real thing here, isn't it? You lose 2 a turn no matter what. So that's 4, 6. Yowza. Yeah, math, I'm going to do it now. That loss of life is probably going to mean the difference here. Monday through Thursday and Saturday and Sunday, I can count the number of texts I get on 3 fingers. But of course, today, it's going to be close. It's going to be real close. Should I save it for that? Ooh, 6, 5, 9. We're going to have to draw something. Dang, this is like nail biting here. No cards in our opponent's hands. Don't have to worry about the edict. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has lethal next turn. So yeah, we got to just sit back and block something here. Obviously, the Borrow Ghoul to just survive, huh? Wow. Okay. Speak of the devil, we were talking about how much Mamba's kind of the black sheep of the deck, and boy, we really like seeing it here, don't we? Okay. Interesting. Oh, I thought Foul Tongue Shriek was a creature. That's right. Okay, so he had to do that. So that bodes well for us. I mean, we still take the same damage. All right. Let's see what we got. Come on now. If we just grab one good spell and he doesn't have Snuff Out. Ooh. How does Snuff Out read? I don't think you can regenerate through it either. Yikes. This is going to hurt. We have to win this turn because the Moment's Peace isn't going to matter against this loss of life. We'll block here. We will regenerate, please. You could make that 3, 4, 5 if he sacks it, which he might do. Generation Shield up. Professor Dan, hey! Not too much hype today, but thank you for that, sir. Good to see you. We're 2-2. We're fighting for our lives here. We have to win this turn because the Night Market Lookout's got our number. Man, if he would have played that first, he could have won because he could have sacked it to that and done the last bit of damage. Is that? No. But now he has a blocker. Son of a gun. All right. Well. Hooey. 1, 2, 3. I don't know what what I'm looking to cycle here. If I do cycle that, my goodness, I think we're gonna go 2-3, guys. I don't. Let me see. Yeah, I can't really do much with that. But we can make it a fight, right? Normally I would stay back for Moment's Peace, but again, all he's got to do is attack and we lose the life and we're dead. And Pulse Tracker's in the house too, so that kind of sucks. If I was him, I probably would have kept that back, just make me a little nervous with Snuff Out, maybe. I don't know. We're going to fall too short if he blocks here. Only way we win here is if he just says, oh man, he's got Mutagenic, which I think we cited 1 or 2 of them out. Here it comes. 8 Infect. Feel it. Live it. Hopefully it'd be cool if we were doing 10 and he sacked it for the Carrion Feeder and we end up winning by default there, but oh boy. Not our day. We go 2-3 it looks like, but hey, if you're going to lose, let's lose to this. So we beat Affinity and Demir. We lost to Delver, Stompy, and Sui Black, which has been a privilege. I would have thought we'd be horrendously favored in this matchup, but this these little guys hit you early and then they keep on dinging at you. And there's a psychological thing to these guys too. They're so small, you're like, I ain't gonna block that. But if you add it up, it's probably hit us 3 times each, and each time they've swung is another, so it's been like a ball lightning for 1 mana. Pretty interesting design. I don't think the original had Edict's main, but who knows. Come on, F6 yourself. That's our only hope. No F6? No, he did. He F6. I wish. And we're dead to lookouts without even needing any of that. So a little disappointing, but I am going to go over the list here because I do stand firmly behind it. Outside of that horrific misplay in Game 1, I think we would have been in some better draws. Let's not forget how atrocious this thing was drawing in those first couple matches, running 19 lands. If you notice something, I've considered going all basics with this list instead of any thickets, but I'm not quite sure. Some crucial turns when you do want to see it. For now, I'm going to keep it at 17 basics, 2 thickets. We've got 4 vines, 4 seals, 4 rancors, 4 groundswells, 4 glisteners, 4 mutagenic, 4 apostles, 4 mambas, 3 treetop bracers main, which didn't show up too much today, 4 Ichorclaw Myrs, and 2 Cystbearer. If I was to change things in this deck list, it's so rare that I want to cycle these. I would actually, what I'm going to start running now, I'm just going to add all basics. I don't have any shenanigans with Nature's Claim because of our recursion engine in the Pulse of Murasa being our life gain trigger against burn too. So, and you know, look at the sideboard. We had 4 archers and 3 gut shots, and it wasn't enough to get Delver. Of course, that was one of the games we really drew bad too. So, smart players play around Tangle and Quirion Ranger. Yes, yes, yes. Why do you like Moment's Peace over Tangle? Oh, just the ability to just, it's like a aggressive time walk when you're playing against Stompy and stuff, and it's I don't know, I just I've always liked it more. There's haste creatures to consider, especially with red deck wins and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think the best one out there is Moment's Peace for that scenario. So, and the other thing, I really like seeing this Cystbearer when it shows up. So I might actually make room for you know, move one of these to the sideboard and add a third. Hello, MTG, are you working? Oh, it did. It threw it over here. So now we're at 61. And then in our sideboard, I'm not quite sure what the extra. I might be able to go to 3 of these, 3 and 3. So I think I would probably mellow it at about that. But yeah, I can't say enough about this Cystbearer. It didn't really show up here, nor did our Treetop Bracers tech. But just a really solid card when all hell breaks loose, or Kumbaji Witches are out, or Disfigure and everything is in the house. And let's not forget, if you have Mutagenic Growth, it saves Cystbearer from almost every removal out there, outside of like a Swirling Sandstorm or that sort of thing. But anyway, I apologize if well, I shouldn't apologize for this. I'm like Nerd of the Core said earlier, it happens to everybody. But I mean, if you're going to lose, that was a pretty cool way to do it. But we're really open for a 3-2 or better. But hey, what you going to do? Hold on just a minute. You notice it asked you Phantasmal Bear. Oh, let me catch up on the chat here before we head out. Quick question, says Professor Dan. In Delver matchups, have you noticed a return of Phantasmal Bear? I have not. I'm always, as everybody knows, really, I gun for Delver, and I look at this sideboard. You know, I really try to attack it, and I just seem to never run into it. But mark my words, if I took these all out and this out and said screw it, I would run into it 4 out of 5 rounds. You all know how that works. But Phantasmal Bear, pretty awesome card. I know probably the best pilot of all of Delver, especially in the old builds, was Mezel. I don't know how you really pronounce his name. He's been just not DOA. What's that? MIA, missing in action. He used to run those a lot, and I like the psychology of Phantasmal Bear, because it's just like that Market Lookout was just a little while ago, where it's like, I'm not going to worry about that. But I think with the preponderance of Stompy, you know, Aquarian Ranger activation kills the bear. So I would err on the side of not playing it. I think there's just there's too many interactions outside of spells that can just nix it and cost you that early tempo, which is what that deck's all about. So Shirazman says he's been playing Phantasmal Bear a long time in the practice room. I already answered the Moment's Peace. Tangle prevents him from using abilities. Mark Mello, good game, sir. See you next time, says Mike Man. Josh VC, thank you, sir. I appreciate you chiming in. Nice to see some new names and such. So anyway, guys, we'll see you same time, same place next week here on Pauperganda. Please spread the word. Love the format. Encourage other people to play it, and all the goods. So for Pauperganda, this is Deluxekoff signing off. Yeah!
What's the largest number you can think of?
100,000?
999,000.
1,000,000. In actual fact, it's neither of these. The largest number is about 45 billion, although mathematicians suspect that there may be even larger numbers. With so many different numbers to deal with, it can get a bit confusing. Unless you use maths. Maths stands for Mathematical Antitelharsic Half-Fatum Septomen. Think of it as the language of numbers, with 1 equaling A, 2 equaling V, 3 equaling hello, and so on. We use maths at almost every point of the day, whether we're working out how to thread our shoelaces, calculating the optimal moment at which to embark upon a conversation, or, if you can fly, planning your trajectory for the journey to work. But some situations require a much more thorough application of maths. Let's look at some examples.
You got it all planned out. Tonight is gonna be perfect. Until she gets a whiff of your bad breath. Yuck! Now, fix bad breath fast with Galvanic Blast. Our breath mints use only the rarest scent crystals, unearthed from certified Mirrodin mines. Don't trust those other mints, they'll leave you hydro-blasted. For flavor that will last, choose Galvanic Blast, dealing damage to bad breath longer than any mint legal on the Tin Street market. For long-lasting flavor that is unsurpassed, choose Galvanic Blast Breath Mints. Feel the blast!
Available at Murasa's Market.